guys, how's it hanging? Today I am revealing your Valentine's Day secrets. I may appear to be not put together, and that's just because I am not put together. I'm not wearing makeup, I'm wearing pajamas. I have a flight in soon. I've decided to take a spontaneous trip to the East Coast where I am from, and that meant that I had to film this video earlier than I wanted to. Basically, I don't want to be here right now. Okay, that's not true. I'm happy to be here, but it's also a Friday night, and there are like 15 other places I think I'd rather be. Sorry. This is sort of in the spirit of Valentine's Day, is it not? Like, no one actually wants to experience Valentine's Day because there's so much pressure. That's kind of how I feel filming a video, you know? I know that there's stuff here to enjoy, but also it's like, I like to think of Valentine's Day as a day to appreciate everyone in your life, not just the ones who touch your genitals. On Valentine's Day a long time ago when I was 12, I felt lonely because my crush said he didn't like me, and I heard my friend who went to a public school, I go to a sheltered private school, say that boys like shaved pussies. I'm sorry, I did not see that coming. I'm just like, oh, it's school, shaved pussies. So I got my dad's electric razor and tried to shave my pussy hair. Oh my god, I hate that we're talking about a 12-year-old and we're using the word pussy. I guess there's really no word that I would feel comfortable using. Anyways, I got my dad's electric razor and tried to shave my pussy hair, but it just hurt a lot, so I only did half and it grew back uneven. He still uses the same shaver on his face. Sorry, Dad. Yeah, see, this is what I was saying about pressure on Valentine's Day. It's like, you're 12 years old and it's Valentine's Day, so you need to shave your pussy? No. Moo, can you not make so many noises? I'm in the middle of a shoot. She doesn't take my job seriously. She's like, oh, a YouTuber? Ew! Ew, Moo! She's playing with a hardened piece of her own poop. I don't know if that makes her gross or me gross, or both of us gross. Both of us. Almost 2 years ago, I got dumped by my boyfriend for this other bitch the day before Valentine's Day. Fuck you, Chet. So anyways, I was horny as on Valentine's Day. So when my mom and her boyfriend went to the movies, I got her dildo and started using it on her bed. Right as I was about to finish, my mom's boyfriend's son walked in looking for the Advil, and he saw me banging myself with my mom's dildo. Ugh. I already know this is gonna lead to some sibling nonsense. The worst part is he didn't even care. He just went into the nightstand and got the Advil and left! Okay, that is a way better story trajectory than what I thought. I was like, oh great, two people who shouldn't be here. Oh my god, that's so awkward. Later that night I saw him again. I said, I'm sorry you had to see that. He said it's fine. Then he says, you got a nice body. Let's just say I've never looked at him the same. You've never looked at him the same? I don't think he'll ever look at you the same way. What the fuck? Yikes. Leave a comment down below. Have you ever been walked in on masturbating? I haven't. I don't masturbate. That's not true. 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 I have had one glass of wine, and this is what's happening. Which, speaking of, by the way, if you haven't checked out my last video, which a lot of you haven't because it doesn't have a lot of views, I got kind of fucked up with my friends, my best friends from home, and we filmed a video. I'll leave a link down below. You should watch it. It makes my heart warm, and maybe it'll make you giggle just a little. Giggle just a little. All right. Moving on. On Valentine's Day, my big sister bought me a giant stuffed dog. Naturally, I made a hole and hid my weed inside. I feel like storing weed in a stuffed animal is a bad idea, because like, wouldn't the fibers get kind of stinky? Like, I feel like you need to put it in like a can or like just something that's not fluffy and hair-like. I don't know. My real dog, Riley, diarrhea had all over my stuffed dog one day. He got really sick, and later I realized the drugs I hid in my stuffy were gone. I assumed he ate them. R.I.P., buddy. Happy Valentine's Day. Wait, so your dog died? Oh my god. I'm sorry for your loss. Jesus. Happy Valentine's Day. I killed my dog. My girlfriend tried to cheat on me on Valentine's Day with my best friend. My friend told me everything and I got some revenge. So my friend went over her house on Valentine's Day with water balloons full of milk, and she hid them in her bag. When my girlfriend, at the time, tried to do, well, stuff with her, my friend told her, wait, I have a surprise. Then she threw the water balloons full of milk at her, and she recorded the whole thing and put it on her Snapchat story. Me and my friend are dating now, and every time we see her, we just say, L. What does L stand, like, for loser? That is, like, you are the loser for saying that to someone else. Is that what the L stands for? I can't really fathom what else it would stand for. Like, lactose intolerant, maybe? Because you threw milk at her? I don't know. Y'all are, like, 12 years old. I can't even pretend to try to understand you. So one time on Valentine's Day, I made small Valentines for everyone that consisted of candy and a little balloon. You know, the ones with the little stick attached. And I made about 10. The day was coming to an end. And notice I had one more left that I hadn't given out. I had class with this girl I hate so much. But she's Jewish, and I wanted to get invited to her bat mitzvah. So I gave it to her. But I did something special to that Valentine. You know how I mentioned the balloon had a stick? What? And then it just ends. What? What? I don't understand. What did you do? Really weird. The whole thing's really weird. Can you please leave a comment down below if you have any idea what this person is trying to imply? My boyfriend dumped me 2 days before Valentine's Day, so I started hitting on his uncle. Naturally, that's the next step. And we ended up having sex, but I got back with my boyfriend and I still see him sometimes and I haven't told my boyfriend. I hate that so much. I'm so uncomfortable. Here's a general rule of thumb, is to not ever hook up with someone to get back at someone else. Because it probably won't do you any favors. Like, you won't feel good about yourself. When I was in the 5th grade, I had a crush on a kid, but he didn't like me. But this really weird kid did like me. Isn't that always the case? Your eyes are in that direction, their eyes are in that direction, their eyes are in that direction. Everyone's looking at everybody else except for the people that you understand. I don't know if I understand anything. But this really weird kid did like me. Valentine's Day was coming up and I needed a Valentine. You don't need anything but air, food, and water. Little did I know I was going to have a Valentine. The weird kid comes up to me during lunch and asks me out on Valentine's Day. Me being the dumbass, desperate bitch I am, says yes, even though I don't like him. Next thing you know, he tries to hold my hand and I slap him dead in the face. 3 years later, my best friend is dating this weirdo. They are the ugliest couple I know. You're a bitch. I'm sorry. You're a bitch. Okay, so this is probably way more cupcakey than the other. I like that adjective quite a bit. This is probably way more cupcakey than the other B-Day secrets, but one year for Valentine's Day, my dad made my entire 4th grade class homemade sugar cookies with their name on it. I just miss little things like that. He ain't dead, just a deadbeat. Fuck, dude. That is really sad. It's really sad. Last year on Valentine's Day, I wanted to find out if my crush liked me back. Don't we all? So I slipped secret admirer cards into his locker every day until Valentine's Day. Unfortunately, he felt extremely creeped out by it and told the principal someone was doing this. The school had security cameras in the hall, so it'd be pretty easy to find out it was me. So during history, I asked the teacher if I could go to the bathroom, but instead I went to get my water bottle from my locker. I poured the water on the floor because I would slip on purpose and blackmail my teacher for not telling my crush it was me. She slipped and broke her neck. Fortunately, she didn't die. Now she's in a wheelchair for a few months until it heals. I got over my crush though, so at least I showed growth. My friend broke her neck, but I got over my crush, so at least I had some character development, and she's just like, pretty much. One year on Valentine's Day, all of my friends got gifts from their significant others and they posted on their Snapchats, and me being the lonely person I am, I went to the store to buy chocolates and a teddy bear for myself, and then I posted it on my Snapchat so I wouldn't feel lonely anymore. Yeah, I think we've all done that, something of that sort at some point in our lives. One time I got a Valentine's Day gift from my grandpa and I posted it like, Valentine. And that performance was a homage to my grandpa, who is now dead. Moving on! So about 1 year ago, my boyfriend and I decided that we wanted to do it in Valentine's Day. However, we couldn't do it in my house or his because of family and dogs being in the house. I feel like dogs, that's okay. So he told me he would research some motels that we could go to. He said he found a perfect one. I don't know if there's anything such as a perfect motel, but we'll find out. So I was really excited, obviously. But when we got there, I realized it wasn't a motel, but more of a sex house or whatever they're called. So it was a motel. And we ended up having group sex with 5 other humans. I honestly don't know if he did a mistake or did it on purpose, but when we got home, he insisted it was okay and he was into it, especially having sex with other men. Don't worry, he me too though. Still, we broke up later that month. I don't even know what to make of this. I have nothing to say but like, get tested. When I was 11 years old, I had this huge crush on a guy in my class. Then one fateful day, Valentine's Day to be exact, you can probably see where this is going. I actually have no idea. I made a card for him. I went all out with a massive heart on the front and a little poem in card. I left it on his desk and watched him open it. He was confused and looked right at me and goes, "You have a freaking crush on me?" Everyone laughed and people still bring it up today. I have never been more mortified in my entire life. Isn't that sad that it's embarrassing to care for other people? Well, I kind of like really hate this girl. She mentally and emotionally abused me, but I don't think she knew she was. But that doesn't make it any better. She like would yell at me. Anyways, I remember one time she asked me out just so I would be her Valentine. Like, so I would get her a Valentine's Day gift. I said no. So she decided to go and date another guy and lied to him, saying her dad wanted her to break up with him after Valentine's Day, even though she just wanted a gift. And oof, don't get me started on her flute skills. Bitch cannot play the flute. Like seriously, she fucks up all the high notes and then pretends she can play instruments like the piccolo, saxophone, and percussion. Like, honey, no, you fucking can't. Sorry for the long rant. I think this is like the 3rd time I've sent something to you. But I love you. I love how you're angrier about her pretending to play instruments than like trying to use you for a gift.
She cannot play the flute!
We all pretend that we can do things that we can't do for a little bit. It's kind of like a coming of age experience. Like, I pretended that I could I can't do anything. Hi, Josefina. I love you. Okay, time to be in my video. So one time I was in love with this boy who obviously didn't love me back, and for some reason I decided it was a good idea to add him on Snapchat. He added me back a few weeks later and snapped me a pic saying, "Hey baby, I know you are oh my god, I am so turned on. And I was like, WTF, I haven't even said hi to you. He kept texting me until he sent me a dick pic. It was huge. I hate that, like, I know you're in high school or some middle school, who knows. And I told him I didn't want him to be texting me dick pics, but he never stopped. Until this day, he sends me dick pics and vids of him jerking off in the school bathroom or in his girlfriend's house. This has been going on for the past 2 years. Also on Valentine's Day, he would send me tons of dick pics. Dude, you need to report this kid. This is not okay. This is sexual harassment. It is not cool to just send people pics of your genitals unless, you know, they want them. Let me just do a little social experiment. This is my pussy. Very uncomfortable, right? She's very uncomfortable. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I love you so much. Oh, God, I love her so much, it hurts. All right, see ya. I have fantasies about my crush. One day I overheard her talking shit about me. The day I was gonna confess my love to her. So on Valentine's Day, I came up with a plan. So first, I sent her yellow roses, her favorites, and some chocolates, and Victoria's Secret perfume. I signed it from C, so it couldn't have been her boyfriend. Then I sent her a link anonymously to her about a girl her boyfriend had been secretly seeing. Let's just say it wasn't a happy Valentine's Day for him. So about 7 months later, we are seniors in high school and everyone goes to this club for teens. And well, I didn't roofie her drink. I put a pill in there to make her really horny. Guys, you can't just drug people. We went back to mine. My parents were on holiday while we were off for the summer. Her parents were too. I can't spell. Basically, we had sex a lot and became girlfriend and girlfriend. We live together now and have been married for 2 years. Well, LOL, my plan worked. Huh. Okay, well, I mean, I guess, yeah, you can drug people if you think you're gonna marry them. I guess. A year ago I had to take this science quiz, but I was gone during the whole lesson since I was making up my exams that I had missed. My teacher decided to make me take it and not explain anything to me. I got a 75 and I asked if he could teach me the lesson and I could retake the quiz. He said no. So the next day, Valentine's Day, I decided to give him a nice sweet gift of a boner pill. Right before lunch, I went to go get my lunchbox and initiate the plan. I saw him walk by, go to the bathroom, the restroom as he usually does before lunch, and sprinted into his room. There it was, a nice cold Sprite sitting on his desk. I hesitantly plopped the boner pill in and calmly left. But as soon as I left the room, he was there right in front of me. He asked me what I was doing and I almost threw up the truth. I told him that I left my folder in his room the day prior. He said, okay, hope you find it. I walked away as fast as I could. I ate my lunch and went to class. I forgot to say I have him right after lunch. He taught the new lesson on the carbon cycle as his dick started to sprout. Sprout. That's a fantastic word. If this was an English teacher, I would imagine he would A+. Everyone noticed. He hadn't even finished the lesson and he frantically gave us a worksheet and he went to go sit down. The bell rang and when I came back the next day, there was a substitute teacher. I haven't seen him since. Holy shit. Do you guys realize that when you do stuff like this, like you're like potentially ruining people's lives? All because you wanted a better grade than a 75? Isn't that already like a C? That's fine, fucking overachiever. So one time when I was in 8th grade, it was a long-awaited Valentine's Day dance. Of course I didn't have a date for the dance because my relationships always lasted like a week because I was such a dramatic hoe. Also because you're like in grade school, so that's normal. My friend had an elaborate plan to lose their V card at the dance in the bathrooms. Oh, that sounds nice. I disagreed with the location. Rightfully so. But per usual, I was ignored. Oof. I didn't have a date, so I told them I didn't want to go because I didn't have a date. Then the next day, a really hot senior guy texted my IG asking if I wanted to fuck with him because I was so hot he'd enjoy catching a case. A legal case? Because you're underage? Is that really what that means? Because that's what I'm interpreting it as. What the fuck? So I told my friends and we were all really excited. The night of the dance, we all went in the stalls and I lost my V card in a school bathroom. Didn't think anything of it until I missed my period for a month. I decided to take a pregnancy test and now I'm a senior in high school and a mama of twins. I wouldn't say I regret it, but people should be more aware of using protection. Yeah, all my other friends that did it in the stalls got STDs. In this case, I was lucky. Happy Valentine's Day, use protection. Leave a comment down below, would you rather get pregnant or get an STD? I had this really toxic friend whom we no longer speak to. She introduced me to this person, let's call him B. So she introduces me to B, and B and I have some really great, really steamy sex. This happens a few times, and then B doesn't talk to me anymore for a while. Then when B starts talking to me again, he hops back on his bullshit. See, before B stopped talking to me, along with the sex came ooey gooey relationship stuff, like cuddling, holding my hand, giving me back and feet massages, cooking for me, taking care of me on my period, yada yada. So all this starts popping up again when he decides to talk to me once more, just minus the sex. So now I'm stuck in this sexless purgatory where he does relationship things but doesn't man up. Should I make a move or should I wait for him? P.S. Last night I spent the night at his house and all we did was cuddle and watch anime and then sleep. Also, I'm in love with him. Also, he's 13 years older than me. I'm 18 and legal, don't worry about it. Please help me, Alex, I beg of you. P.P.S. I'm thinking of tricking him into Valentine's Day sex, just some food for thought. I think generally don't trick anyone into sex. That's like probably like the cool thing to do is to not trick people into having sex with you. Maybe you ought to just open up a line of conversation about the topic. Say, I've noticed that you've been treating me in ways that I enjoy thoroughly, but there's another way I'd like to be treated. And then he'll speak and then you'll have the answer. If you can't talk about sex with someone, then maybe you shouldn't be having sex with them. I'm hungry. I need food. Cheers. On Valentine's Day last year, I planted a ring in my bag. Yes, my own bag. I'm one lonely potato. Anyway, I found it at first break and told all my friends. They still think I have some secret admirers, so they bring it up a lot. But I'm good at lying and acting, if I don't say so myself. Nobody suspects a thing, even though I'm ugly as fuck, and nobody could like me. Anyways, after that depressing thought, love your videos. I really hate how you guys talk about yourselves. A lot of you shit talk yourselves. On one hand, maybe it's cool. I'm like, yeah, you're self-aware. Like, you know that you're ugly. You know that you suck. But at the same time, you're probably not ugly, you probably don't suck, and we could all practice a little self-love. Valentine's Day, oh my god, it all works. I would like all of you to practice an act of self-love today. And no, I don't mean that like that, if that's what you... Something that you enjoy doing that feeds just you and your soul, do it, okay? I also think the more you take care of yourself and love yourself, better the relationships in your life become. So if you're looking for love this Valentine's Day and you don't have it, you do have yourself. So start there, and then I'm pretty smart. Ow! I'm fucking hot. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy your Valentine's Day as well. Give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and subscribe. I upload videos almost every Thursday. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.